Marco, how are you?
Very good, Greg. Thank you.
Marco, I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself and talk about what you're doing in the kingdom, and then I'll introduce myself.
I have the honor to be the CEO for the new King Salman International Airport. This is going to be a unique airport, and actually what we're trying to do here is we're going to transform aviation.
Okay. I'm Greg OHara. I run Certares, which is the largest travel and tourism investment business in the world. We'll get right down to it and start. The U.S. government aims to promote multimodal access and transportation, but something happened there. You're not here to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, despite the cheers that we got when we came on. But the reality is that in global travel, particularly to exotic destinations, it's all about airlines, right? Maybe you want to talk a little bit about everything being driven by air travel and what the infrastructure required to do that is, because you're in a unique position to be able to do that.
Yeah, actually what we have is a tremendous advantage here. I believe probably it's the first time in history that an airline like Riyadh Air and the airport is being built simultaneously. So in that sense, what it means for us is that we have the opportunity to complement each other in a better way that never happened before in any airport in history. So when we're talking about the opportunities in the US, and most specifically the agreements that Riyadh Air is working with Delta to supply the connectivity into the US, I can say that the airport is going to be transformed into something that we're going to have a US CBP pre-clearance. Like we're going to have a lot of connectivity there.
Pre-clearance, really?
Pre-clearance, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yes. We need to go beyond what is going to be the service. We don't want the passenger coming through Riyadh and then going through customs and immigration in the US. So if we bring that service into the region that is going to be associated with a large demand going into the States, that is going to bring a tremendous advantage for Delta as well, for Riyadh Air in their connectivity hub here.
Absolutely. I'm flying through Riyadh if you do that, that's for sure. The race is on to create the next iconic travel destination. Massive infrastructure is required, lavish resorts. Who should benefit, and what do you have to do to deliver that product?
It's really an interesting question, Greg. From our perspective, airports are always following some codes, let's call it. We're talking about we have to follow ICAO, we have to follow IATA, we have to follow so many codes that has been implemented in order to create what they call the experience for the passenger, the customer service. Actually, what we believe is now with the new implementation of technology, we can actually reduce the size of the plates in order to create something that is going to be a better service for the passenger, something that is going to be a seamless security process, and at the same time we're going to get in a better operations. So when we put it in perspective, yes, we're going to create an infrastructure for the airport that is going to create the technology, but that technology cannot be just the airport technology. Something that we always disagree is from the point of view that the passenger is only recognized at the check-in point today.
Yes.
The passenger should be recognized from the moment that they are leaving home. So we have to create and pave all the way from that passenger, all the way to the airport. And actually, I will say that as an airport, we have the responsibility to know what happened with our passenger after they depart our airport.
Yep.
How they arrive into their destination point. So we're going to follow and track how the passengers are going to go into every single destination around the world, and at the same time, we're going to be the place to welcome in every time they're coming to Riyadh.
So you mentioned technology. You have a long-range plan, and you're currently based on technology and things that by the time you finish your plan, right, could be outdated. Not saying it will, but could be. How do you manage figuring out how to deliver a state-of-the-art technology solution when you're planning and you're budgeting today, probably conservative budgeting, conservative planning, but you have to deliver this future vision, but if you use today's technology, it won't deliver for a decade?
That's an excellent question, Greg. Actually, what we do is in airports, you're absolutely correct, we plan and probably you start the master planning of the airport 10 years before the airport is open, and in that you create the spaces and you create technology and communications that probably are going to be obsolete by the time you arrive. That happens all the time. So what we need to create in the design is flexibility. So basically, number one, you have to align with the right partners. So the right partner, when I'm talking about the right partner, is the right partner that is going to go with you all the way through. It's not something that they are going to deploy the technology that happens today and tomorrow advance the technology, and they are going to say, no, I'm going to give you the technology that is the past. We cannot go with that. We need to have a partner that is going to take us all the way through. So in any minute through the transition from design to construction that we need to deploy a new technology is when we need that partner to come, and we will secure a deal based on the latest technology available at the moment prior to opening the terminal building.
Yeah, so you don't have a situation like Berlin, right, where your baggage handling system didn't evolve over it and you can open your airport.
Absolutely, you're absolutely correct. Everything has to evolve. We cannot go and present a technology that sooner or later everybody's going to be talking that is absolutely obsolete.
Yeah.
So we need, at the same time, every single project that have been working in airports, we always have to create that flexibility during construction and the space during construction. So at the time that we call the freezing time is 1 year before the opening time, right? 1 year, year and a half is when we have to completely freeze any change into the airport, because otherwise we will never complete the ORAT in order to put the airports in operations.
That must be an exciting time when that 1 year comes. It's kind of like a nuclear launch or something like that, where all systems green in order to do it. It must be nerve-wracking to have to deliver that product.
Absolutely, because when you look in perspective, the amount of effort that you put building an airport is incredible. We're looking here that we're going to have a working force probably around the 40,000 people in order to deliver the ambition that is here in Riyadh. So when you go through that process, you see so many changes, you see so many people, you see all the effort that this team has put in together. And then when you achieve that final milestone, it's just a feeling that is just incredible, satisfactory for everybody. So what we try to do in the company, we are not going to, of course, we have this final milestone, but at the same we have several milestones in between, because otherwise for us will be absolutely impossible. We need to celebrate every milestone as we go. Other times you demoralize the team and the time you reach the final milestone.
I know the feeling. You've got a tremendous advantage here because you have a tourism minister in Ahmed Al-Khatib, His Excellency Al-Khatib. You have Her Highness Princess Haifa. You have Fahad Hamadeen, who does a world-class job marketing. How important is the whole ecosystem around what you're doing to your project at the airport?
This is something that we need to have in collaboration. The whole aviation strategy, the whole tourism strategy has to be looked at as a one unit. It's the only way that we're going to guarantee that we're going to attract the right people, we're going to go into the right markets. That's the only way that I see that the airport is going to grow in a substantial way, and that's the only way that the tourism strategy is going to work. We need to work all in collaboration, airlines, airports, Minister of Tourism, the city, how to promote the city, not just inside Saudi. We need to promote the city outside in the destinations that we're going to target in order to attract the passengers to come from.
Last question, so we can keep everybody on time. So we were talking before, and we've talked earlier about some of the trends in the travel industry. Previous panel didn't mention this trend, kind of strange. So we talked earlier on that you're a lifestyle business as much as anything else. As you know, we've got at Certares, we have an enormous bet on wellness, longevity, mobility, personal mobility. Are there any other trends in the industry that you like that the group here assembled should be aware of, or do you like wellness and longevity as much as anything else?
I believe as an airport we have a mandate, right? We have an airport that has to serve different passengers. And I just put it in perspective, Greg. For instance, I'm going to give you as an example for you. When you travel by yourself, you're a businessman. Totally businessman. You go to your security, you go immediately check in, VIP, check in, go security, straight in through the lounge. You go there, you open your laptop, that's the end of your journey. You just want to go into the aircraft, goodbye. Something is different when you travel with your kids.
Absolutely.
You are a different passenger. And you are a different passenger when you travel with your elderly or you travel with your mom, your dad. Because the priority at that moment is not going to be you, it's going to be the people that you are with. So that is exactly what we want to promote in this airport. We're looking as a passenger, as a customer-centric passenger. It's not just one passenger, everybody. It fits all through the same process. We need to be sure that every passenger is looking in a different way everybody they transition through the airport. And this is what I really believe, that human interaction is what is going to make the aviation change. We lose that when we look about the pandemic, pre-pandemic and everything. Yes, we as an airport, we were able to, I will call it, push passengers more through the security lanes. So the security lanes is the perfect example, Greg. I don't know, 15 years ago, I always say we used to process 125 passengers per security lane. Now we understood that 25 meters in length and 4 divestors give us 385 passengers per hour.
Fantastic. Listen, we have to stay on time, so we're going to wrap it up. I know everybody in the kingdom's cheering for you, and everybody in the travel industry is cheering for you, so we can't wait for you to open. All right? Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, guys.